What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745 and this video is going to be all about the group boss, the High Evolutionary. Now this group boss is going to appear for you right after you complete the first research. So what you're going to see is this dialogue that's on the screen right now, and then you can go and find him yourself on your Spec Ops map. Then just like always, he'll start to show up on your friends' maps as well. You'll know this because their icon will change on your ally bar. Now for those who have already faced him, you know he can be a challenge. Part of it is the first time you face him, you really don't know what to expect. Part of it really is that practice makes perfect. You have to try out all sorts of teams and setups until you get that right combination. However, there are some from the past that we know just works. In this video, I'm going to show you one of my more successful runs, although I didn't have too many chances against him just yet. In this particular fight, I'm going to be using Fandral and Hogan. They're two tried and true Asgardians that usually work against any group boss. With this one, I feel like I need to tweak my weapon setup just a bit, but I will show you what I used in this case. Also, as we battle this group boss, I'm going to tell you a few other team-ups that should work and that I do plan to try in the future. At the beginning of this fight, the High Evolutionary is at 86%, and by the way, he does bring minions. Now these Iso-saurs do provide a problem. First off, they have mental attacks that can be extremely annoying. Now don't get me wrong, I could see them providing class benefits, especially since they're tacticians, and we have two infiltrators. But in my opinion, they were so annoying that my strategy turned into take them out first. That's exactly what I intend to do, so I go ahead and attack them with the Warbringer axe, and this usually causes an arrowed follow-up. If you're really lucky, this will take him out, but if not, I just go ahead and attack him again. Of course, by doing this, it means you'll have less attacks on the group boss, but the really good news is they don't come back. Hogan is going to be the MVP in this fight. He does a ton of damage to group bosses. And actually on his turn, I could have attacked the High Evolutionary and saved his minion for our other heroes. But I tell you what, those Iso-saurs can be a pain, and it does end up working out. From here on out, you kind of just let these guys do their thing. They're going to attack, counterattack, do follow-up attacks, and pretty much just go off on this boss. At least I think that would be the technical term for it. But as we watch the Asgardians dismantle the group boss, I do want to talk about a few other strategies and heroes as well. One of my first thoughts was to use Captain Steve Rogers, and I actually did, but that fight didn't go too well. But still, I blame myself, not Cap. It was my very first attempt and I didn't know what to expect, and those Iso-saurs made it much more difficult. Another hero I really wanted to try, but didn't just yet, is Iron Man. Of course, by utilizing his Unibeam technique and his Unibeam focus, you can end up doing a ton of damage on pretty much any boss. It's a really straightforward strategy, and all you would really need to do at that point is try to give him extra turns and make sure his stamina stays full. You can use characters and items that recharge stamina. For example, Angel can recharge stamina, heal, and provide extra turns. Another great option for that would be using the Gracious Augmented Iso-8, especially on a character that has a buff you can use every turn. Drax the Destroyer, for example. Also, since Unibeam is a ranged energy tech, and it has deadly crits, you could go ahead and use something like the Rectifier to make sure it crits every time. On top of that, it would be healing Iron Man every single time you fired. But anyways, these are just some ideas off the top of my head, and I haven't really got to try them out yet. But once I do, I will post more videos of the group boss, especially as we perfect our strategy. This brings me to another thing I do want to address before I move on to another strategy. There is a fine line with group bosses to where you want to leave them for your allies, and so you don't want to do all the damage yourself. I actually barely damaged mine, well, the first time wasn't on purpose, but still I do try to leave my group boss up for my friends. This is something that you'll have to decide for yourself, but it is at least a great idea not to collect your lockboxes, at least not right away, that way your friends can get a chance. So with that being said, another strategy that I do want to use against the High Evolutionary does involve Pestilence Beast. See, this group boss clears debuffs on him, but I'm hoping Paradise Lost will stop that. This would allow me to use the Horseman set with the Ex-Oblivion, the No Mercy, the Memento Mori, and the Gaunt Caress. And when you can place all those debuffs on the enemy, this set can do a lot of damage. If you have tried the Horseman of Pestilence, please let me know in the comment section below. As for this fight you're watching, so far it hasn't gone too bad. We were at 36% before that attack, and that arrowed. By the way, I was using the Mystic, but I switched in the Hand of Apocalypse for this fight. The reason for this was because I saw that the High Evolutionary did have some Finest Hour buffs, and at least for a little while you can get some Paragon Exploiter debuffs on him, especially with Fandral. So I decided to use the hand, and plus it does give off balance. In the right situation, I still think this attack could do a lot of damage. At this point, we were getting the High Evolutionary pretty close to 0%, but unfortunately we do end up losing DPS along the way. Some of it's our fault, some of it's because we took out the minions, and other times this group boss just plain out dodges. As a matter of fact, he's going to dodge our last 2 hand attacks. This was really unfortunate, and I wished I would have attacked with Hogan instead. But hey, those are the breaks, and next time we may take off even more percentage. For this one, we end up getting 267,000 damage done, and 200,000 silver. That's not bad for a fight's work. Like I said, I am going to try to perfect my strategy, and I'll be trying out more teams and a different setup. So I'll let you know how that goes, and I'll make a new video once I perfect my strategy. I do hope this one helped, and I want to thank you all for watching. I'd also like to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.